After practicing over 25 years as a registered dietitian, Mary Ealy made the transition to becoming a holistic health coach. She is a gentle soul guiding clients to make health changes and restore good health habits. Today, she is going to be sharing with us keys to resilient health. Mary, welcome to the Bree Talk stage.
Thank you. So good to be here. And thanks for all who are sticking around for a message of health. And what we've already heard is so encouraging. I really wish if we had open microphone that I could ask each person where you are in your health journey and where do you want to be in 10 years. Our perspective makes so much difference, and we need to be looking ahead to know our health journey can be shaped by our behaviors so that 10 years down the road, we don't have to be wrestling with Alzheimer's or some other debilitating disease. In our time together, I want to review 5 keys to getting good health and resilience. Some steps I've taken, some mistakes I've made, and some absolutely wonderful results that I and my clients have experienced by making these changes. At the end, I'll take the last minute to tell how I practice with clients and what can be the possibilities of that health journey. My health journey hit a bumpy road when I was about 13. That winter, I had strep throat, not just once, but twice within a month. And it was debilitating. And my throat and breathing capacity was so limited. I was afraid to sleep at night, afraid that I would suffocate and die. And that is, ominous at that age, since I, at that point, had not known someone who had died. And so after that, my parents did not realize how ill I really was. And though I got medical attention, I was not healing completely. So in the coming months, other illnesses seemed to strike, and I had no resilience against them. So my healing took a time and journey and effort to get back to where I wanted to be. So today, in the things that we're going to review, the first one is to eat real food. It's so tempting. When I go in my grocery store, 70% of what's in that store is in a bag, a box, or with a barcode. And those are not things that we normally need to be eating. I remember during the pandemic, some of the shelves were empty, but the produce section was fully stocked. There weren't many people roaming those aisles looking for something to munch on. But those are the things that provide us with the deep nutrient-dense foods that our body is craving. If we find a craving for some food, generally it's because we haven't supplied that to our body. And so getting to the real food is really important. Buying and consuming whole foods as much as possible. Real fruits, real vegetables, and real meats, if you choose to have those foods, and to cook our own food. It's so tempting to stop by a restaurant or drive through, and yet, if we are cooking at home, we know the positive ingredients that we can put into those foods, and we know how to keep our bodies maintaining the health that we want to have. And eating what's right for us, we can generally tell if something doesn't agree with us, and yet we may pursue that anyway, thinking the taste is worth the ill effect, but we really know better. And maintaining good glycemic control, good blood sugar control. Anytime our blood sugar spikes and then dips, that is doing damage to the interior lining of our blood vessels. It's very damaging over the long term for heart and brain health and so forth. And number 2 is improving our sleep. Many of us don't get as much sleep as we need, and even one night of poor sleep can elevate our blood sugar, drive up our blood pressure, and cause us to fall into some ill health patterns. So getting good sleep is really important. And a couple of things that we need to do in order to get good sleep would be to go to bed as early as we can. Those hours between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. are when the brain shrinks, so to speak, and we have a car wash effect from our spinal system to wash through our brains, to clean out any trash that accumulates. It's a great blessing. And so we aren't missing things by going to sleep. We are really getting added benefits. And also to turn off the TV, phone, and other devices an hour before our sleep time, because the blue light affects our ability to sleep. And you may have found in your house, as I find in mine, I put my Wi-Fi equipment, my router, on a timer. So it goes off at 10 o'clock at night and comes back on early morning. And I give my body and brain time to recover from the ill effects that EMFs may have. And to keep sleeping space dark so that we can sleep and get the kind of rest that we need. Thirdly, we want to talk about exercise. All of us know how important exercise is. Sometimes it's just inconvenient, or we have to put out a little extra energy to do that, and it isn't as comforting as we know that it can be. But keeping that in mind, setting a habit of the time and the types of exercise that we want to participate in, and then getting that in. And then even though we may have a morning exercise routine, that does not give us permission to sit for the next 6 hours as we work. Our bodies are so much healthier if we can rise from our desk and maybe do some air squats or walking to the bathroom and back, whatever it takes. But to get that blood flow going for our brains and our bodies is a great benefit. And starting that exercise routine, sometimes the start is the hardest part, and we can continue that. So that's a great benefit. And then our fourth element is stress management. As we know, all stress is not bad. Having my 5 granddaughters visit is stressful, but it's a stress that I love. And so that's not a bad thing. But having distress is harmful to our body. So knowing that we go through those stressful times, it is an influence that is oxidative stress on our bodies, and it causes us to lose the goodness that we have. So keeping that in mind and choosing some activities where we de-stress. Maybe it is our prayer time, or our time with friends and family, or it's our time to meditate and relax our minds before sleep and so forth. And then the number 5 thing is supplements. Not only do we tend to have some vacancies in our intake as far as foods are concerned if we've had poor food choices in the past. And so we may need to make up those deficits in order to regain good health. And that doesn't have to be permanent. It can be a temporary thing, but we do need to know what those deficiencies are and how to restore that balance. Our body is meant to have good food with good nutrients and restore the balance every day. And therefore, we can continue the good health. But when we let that balance drop, we definitely are putting ourselves in a place to take on the diseases and the viruses that are in the air, and we don't resist them as well, and we are not resilient unless we choose to build that resilience. Even of the 5 that we've talked about, sugar, of course, is a huge thing, and just having the sugar from a can of soft drinks can lower our immune system for up to 6 hours. Well, if we're going to be in a public situation, then we know that there's viruses in the air all the time, and we make ourselves vulnerable to having that if we choose those kinds of foods. So having these 5 elements in our body is an important thing, an important step. I'm a health coach, and most people know good health practices, or they can find them all online. I mean, that's easy to do, but implementing those practices can be the hard part. We are all busy in our lives and have important priorities that we have set up about the way we spend our time. And so as a health coach, I am an encourager, and I offer alternatives, and I offer validation for making those choices, and just help to smooth the path forward. Our consistency in good choices is a great part of our success. And so to make that happen, sometimes we need a reminder or to be held accountable. And that's what I do as a health coach, just guiding clients. My ideal clients have prediabetes or sometimes diabetes type 2, and many have digestive or gut issues. And there are 5 different tests that I can use with my clients that they do at home and send to the lab for results to help balance things out for their future health. I work with clients generally 3 to 4 months, either in a one-on-one situation or small group, and that can be in person or online. If you or someone you know needs support, encouragement, and accountability, you might go to my website, which is truehealthreset.com, or email me at truehealthreset.mary@gmail.com. And we can have a discovery call and decide if we're a right fit to work together. And call as to whether we are suited on the same search for good health, and we can have that journey together. As believers, we know that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And so to take care of that body in a way that glorifies God, we need to make some good choices, and I am hoping that we can make some good choices together. Thank you, and blessings for good health.